The Kentucky Fried Chicken Massacre. In Kilgore, Texas, on September 23, 1983, a Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant was about to close for the evening. There were still 5 persons inside. They were 20-year-olds David Maxwell, Joey Johnson, 19-year-old Monty Landers, 37-year-old Mary Tyler, and 39-year-old Opie Hughes. The other 4 were employees, excluding Landers. Landers had dropped over to see Maxwell and Johnson, 2 of his buddies. The restaurant was deserted when Tyler's daughter arrived to pick up her mother. The 5 occupants of the vehicle abruptly vanished. Regarding her mother, her daughter got in touch with the police. They wouldn't be gone for very long. The next day, police were requested to a deserted oil field next to Country Road 232. They discovered 5 bodies. On the bodies, swarms of insects were already present. They were recognized as 2 of the victims' friends and the 4 missing KFC staff members. They were all killed by gunfire. Tyler's body had been carried away, but the other 3 were all together. It was discovered during a police inquiry that she had experienced sexual assault. The nightly numbers were called into the headquarters, which was discovered by law authorities. 3 men broke into the store after receiving the call, stole $3,000, and abducted the 5 victims. Then they were killed in a pitch-black oil field. Before the murderers were apprehended, more than 20 years would pass. The evidence was scant. On a napkin, there was some blood that had been spilt and a fingernail clipping. The evidence was examined in a lab. The murderers had hidden their footprints, and they disappeared into the night like ghosts. Law enforcement continued to investigate the case even after it became unsolved to see if they might identify the murderers. James Earl Mankins Jr. was detained by the police and accused of carrying out the killings. The charges were ultimately withdrawn. The case became unsolved once more. When 2 cousins named Darnell Hartsfield and Romeo Pinkerton were identified using DNA evidence in November 2005, this situation changed. Hartsfield was already in prison for a different offense. Hartsfield's DNA was found on the bloodied napkin. Hartsfield and Pinkerton would be prosecuted with the KFC massacre according to DNA evidence. The cousins and an unnamed accomplice planned to loot the KFC and kill everyone inside. It was revealed during the trial. Despite the cousins' denials of any murder, both men were given life sentences. Pinkerton entered a guilty plea in 2007, and Hartsfield was found guilty in 2008. Unfortunately, one murderer got away with it. The cousins who were found guilty claimed that their accomplice had shot the victims and raped Tyler. They claim that is the reason why Tyler's body did not contain any of their DNA. Pinkerton and Hartsfield have both declined to reveal who their conspirator is. Hartsfield will be eligible for parole in January 2023, and Pinkerton will be eligible in May 2024. The Burger Chef murders. An off-duty worker at the Speedway Burger Chef, 5725 Crawfordsville Road, discovered the back door unlocked and the employees missing on November 18, 1978. Evidently, 4 young employees were kidnapped from the eatery, and $500 was taken. There were no witnesses to the kidnapping. Police and volunteers launched a thorough search for the abducted workers and their kidnappers over the course of the following 2 days. Near the Speedway Police Department, authorities found a worker's automobile that may have been utilized in the abduction's opening sequence. The 4 workers' deaths were found on Sunday, November 19, 1978. by a nearby Johnson County property owner in a remote wooded location. Multiple .38 caliber slug wounds to the head, neck, and shoulders were present in 2 individuals. The body of the 3rd victim had been stabbed to death with a hunting knife, while the 4th victim had suffered significant head injuries. A multi-agency task force was assembled by the police to look into the killings. The Indianapolis-based Burger Chef Systems has set up a memorial fund for the 4 victims' families and posted a $25,000 up to $100,000 in 2020 reward for information leading to the capture and conviction of the murderers. The murderers have not been found despite many hours being committed to the inquiry and the pursuit of leads across the United States. The Indiana State Police staged a news conference on the 40th anniversary of the killings and showed a piece of evidence in an effort to elicit recollections and gather information. The Indiana State Police believed that modern forensic techniques that weren't available at the time would assist crack the case. Nonetheless, the killings were still unsolved.